Hi, welcome to a little bit of a catch-up of Trig Walk 35, the Langton Caudle Trig Point. Unfortunately, the first bit of my video was done in hyperlapse, so I couldn't really use it. So we are going back and just refilming the first 1.5 miles. So unfortunately, Henry's going to walk 3 miles. But he doesn't mind, he likes coming out and going for a walk, so exploring all the little villages. Our first visit is St Peter's Church in Church Langton. We're going to see if we can find the mark again. Let's have a look at some of the apotropaic markings. Luckily, the benchmark hasn't been moved since last time. There it is, just there. Just notice some more markings along here. That's an interesting one. This church has definitely got plenty of them. Not too sure whether these any markings. Quite interesting. Obviously, that's all graffiti. Like I've seen that sign several times. Looks like there's some markings on here. That was like 1662, don't know if it's that old or not. But some of this is graffiti. Inside St Peter's Church at Church Langton rests Sir Richard Roberts, a knight who died in 1644, his stone effigy laying in silence, a solemn reminder of centuries past. The stained glass windows of St Peter floods the church with colour, vivid saints and sacred scenes telling stories in light, each pane a fragment of faith and history. As we leave St Peter's Church at Church Langton, as you come out of the church, you turn right and head down here. And we're going to be seeing my favourite church next, the Church of Cider. As you leave the church, you head out through the back onto Church Lane, past these lovely cottages, and head down to the bottom here. As you leave Church Lane, you go onto the Melton Road and you head down towards the pub. And then just as you get to the pub, there's a turning to your left and you walk down to the pub car park. Then once you go into the pub car park, you'll see a yellow way marker. Turn right here and over the fields. Actually, if I remember rightly, you don't watch out for the poo. If I remember rightly, you don't go over the fields. You keep to the hedge and you head left just down here. So follow this path, which will take us down to Church Causeway. Then once you go to Church Causeway, we turn right. At the end of Church Causeway, you cross over Tur Langton Road and you'll see the sign for the footpath that we're going to be taking directly in front of us. Then we take a walk past Langton Cricket Club. As you leave the cricket club, you head down and you see the Bell Inn. It looks such a nice place for a pint, but we turn right down here. East Langton, one of an ancient Langton township, became its own civil parish. In 1866, the village grew with the coming of the Midland Railway. In 1876, serving until 1968. Though small, its population under 400 as of 2011 is rich in history and heritage. As you leave East Langton, you turn left and go down Back Lane. And just down here, this is where we go into the fields. As you come to the bend on Back Lane, you go straight, you'll see the sign for the Leicestershire Round. We cross over here. So we're now on the Leicestershire Round. And our next port of call, I think, is Tur Langton. Well, the sheep are already scared of us, and we're not even doing anything yet. Even the ones settled down and just enjoying life. But we've got to head to that yellow way marker. Let's see how close I can get to you. Well, that's extremely close. Don't know if you can see, but this looks like the shape of things to come. Instead of animals in a field, you have solar panels in a field. We've seen a few cows, a few sheep, but that looks like the shape of things to come. We're just leaving the Leicestershire round to have a look at the St Leonard's Church at Tur Langton. I think this is our 17th benchmark, so doing quite well. This is the one at St Leonard's Church in Tur Langton. Oh, hen, got a plum, like a plum. There's a few apples on this tree, so if you ever get hungry on this walk. Unfortunately, we can't get in this church either, as it's padlocked. So we're going to stop for a little bite to eat now. Once you leave the church, head down Church Lane until you get to Waltham Road. We seem to be coming across that quite a bit. You'll see the pub just up there, and we're going to get back onto the Leicestershire round, which leads us down here. Then we come to a ford that I vaguely remember from last time, and we take the right path. I think the left path is actually the footpath ahead is closed. So just head down here, having an encounter of a cow dog. Where you get your sheep dogs, you've got a cow dog, basically a herding cows. If anybody's ever seen any of those before, let us know, because I've never seen them. Then the last time we came around here, this is all flooded. So that path would have taken us that way, which is the wrong way. And we need to go this way. As we leave Tur Langton behind us, we walk out into open fields. The hedgerows and the ridgelines here have been trodden for centuries, and today we're following part of the Leicestershire round. The path now begins to climb towards Langton Caudle. It's thought this ridge may have once been held as a prehistoric fort. Well, after that hike up to the Leicestershire round, look at the Leicestershire round. Literally passes the Langton Caudle Trig Point, and here's a Langton Caudle Trig Point, the 35th Trig Point. As you can see, the spider, there's the plate, S4832, in good condition. The Langton Caudle Trig Point sits near a curious mound, marked on some older maps. It's long been speculated about. Some say it's an ancient burial mound, possibly Bronze Age. Others think it might be the remnants of an old moat, the defence mound, or a small Norman castle. A few whispers in this area. One talks of a witch of the Langtons, a widow who lives alone and blamed for sudden death of cattle in the 16th century. She was never officially tried, but the villagers were said to avoid her cottage. A circle of rowan trees were planted nearby to keep her spirit bound after she died. Whether true or not, it's a kind of story these old writings tucked into the soil. We're now going to head to Staunton Wyville and visit the secluded St Dennis Church, a beautiful remote place that always seems to carry a hush with it. As always, I'll be keeping an eye out for benchmarks and carvings, those odd little traces of past lives. Well, that's a little bit different to when we walked up here a couple of years ago. That's a real muddy track to walk up. But now we're at the bottom of the hill. There's Henry patiently waiting for his father. And a second. Filmed father abuse. We're now going to cross Cranlow Road to Staunton Wyville. Church Langton is 1¼ miles that way, same as Tur Langton 1½ so it's not that far back. Tucked away in the lost medieval village of Staunton Wyville is St Dennis Church. St Dennis Church is a hidden gem built around the 13th century. Its ironstone wall and Victorian restoration speaks of quiet resilience. Step inside, you'll find Gothic arches, blocked arcades and an alabaster stone tomb of Edmund Brundle with his wife, 3 children and a swaddling baby carved in stone. It's a place of deep time, fading footsteps and of old ghosts, if you can get the stiff door open. Not too sure whether that's a benchmark or not. That's quite high and it looks completely different to what we usually see. When you leave Staunton Wyville, there's a field right next to the church. Cross over there and in the corner you'll see a little yellow way marker and a bridge. Cross over here and we're on our way to our next stop. Nice little river or stream. But as usual, we're still going through some overgrown path. We'll soon be coming up to King's Charles Well on the way to Tur Langton. Don't know what to expect. Hopefully it'll be something interesting, but we won't know until we get there. Now, legend has it that King Charles I stopped here during his English Civil War and that the water never runs dry. Some say it has healing properties, others say it runs cold, even in the summer. Either way, it's another piece of the Langton puzzle. But looking at it, you wouldn't drink from it, would you? It's quite stagnant. I have no idea what they say about being like a sheep and following each other. Even though the gate was open, one of them actually tried to jump it. And you got to picture that, the gate was open. We've done 6.5 miles and you're coming to the final village, Tur Langton. We're going to have a look at St Andrew's Church for the obvious. And then it's a quick little walk back down to Church Langton and for the ever elusive pint of cider. We're coming to the village now of Tur Langton with its lovely thatched cottages and the defibrillator telephone box. And there's St Andrew's Church that we'll be having a look at first. But Henry's been whittling for a pint. We're only going to go for half. But I want to stop at the next pub for half. Just coming to the Crown Inn, which is literally opposite. St Andrew's Church in Tur Langton isn't your average village church. Built in 1866 by Joseph Goddard, it's a statement, all red brick, sharp lines and spire that hits 115 feet. Inside, unfortunately we can't look inside because it's locked, it's pure Victorian drama. Arched arcades, stained glass windows, blazing with colour and every detail cut in brick. It stands out the site of medieval chapel. Long gone but not forgotten, this place doesn't whisper history, it shouts it. But I think we've had a bit of bad luck today looking inside churches. Like Henry says, probably because we look at most of our churches on a weekend day. Today's a Tuesday. We've not had any luck. So as you come out of Tur Langton, you'll see another footpath. Just basically, I think it's the last house, the old barn. You head down here out of Tur Langton, and this will take us back to Church Langton, where we'll be going for another half a pint, a well-earned half a pint. As you come out of Tur Langton, there's a bit of an awkward path. You have to when you come out at the end, keep parking round. You'll eventually come to some tennis courts and back out into the country. I think we're roughly a mile away from the car. There it is. Oh well, couldn't see this at first, but once you get down to the bottom, I thought, how are we going to get across this field? And the farmer's left a nice little track through there. Couldn't see that until we get on top of it. We're just coming up to 8.3 miles and we can see the church at Church Langton just in the distance. So we've only got about another half a mile to go. So this walk probably would have been about 9 miles, which considering I plotted it to be 7 miles. But we never take into consideration walking around the churches, in the churches, looking for things. So even a 9-mile walk's not too bad. Luckily we couldn't see it at first, but it's a relatively clear path that the farmers left for us. Didn't see this at first. As you come back into Church Langton, you wind your way through around the back of the farms and all the houses to get into Church Langton. It's still well signposted, but the farmer doesn't want you going off track. We're coming up to the Langton Arms, which is surprisingly placed for a pint at the end of the walk. Well, that's been a very enjoyable walk. Our 35th Trig Walk, seeing Langton Caudle Trig Point. We've done basically 9.5 miles and seen many interesting things. But now it's time to get changed and head home. So if you enjoyed this walk, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again very shortly. Thank you and bye.